Hey everybody, it's Hayden coming at you again with another video. And what I plan on, or what this is going to be about, and while I know there's hundreds of these types of videos out on the internet, I wanted to go ahead and show you what I consider to be my day kit. So, to start off with the bag, it is, well, you know what, I can't even tell you what brand of bag this is, because it's just really random. But I got this pack from Bud K for like $16. So instantly you think cheap. When I first got it, I was a little afraid it was going to be cheap, but I've had it for a little over a year and a half now, and still it's just in like great condition. Um, the entire pack is completely rubberized, so that keeps it water resistant. The straps are pretty secure. It's a pretty quality pack for the price I paid for it. So I really like it, and it's a good buy. The strap that it's held on by is kind of weird because you have to pull this out to pull that up. And so, okay, the first item I have in here, and this is just what I did my last video on, is just my Mora companion knife. I keep this in here because it's small and compact enough that it fits in my kit easily and doesn't take up a lot of room, doesn't weigh nothing, so it's a good knife to keep in here. Second, I have a Coghlan's folding saw. Now, I know it's not like a Baco Laplander or a Silky saw, but you'd actually be surprised at how good this saw works. Actually, I have another one in my main kit, and that one I actually do want to replace with like a Baco because I've had it forever. I've had it for like 6-7 years, and just the issue with it is I just snapped the tip off somehow. They're a really good knife. Or not knife, but saw. They cut through stuff pretty fast. It's just they hold. It's actually pretty good quality. It's just a nice saw if you don't want to go out and spend the money on a Baco. But I do plan on replacing my busted one with a Baco. The next thing I have is just a little fire steel that I picked up. It's actually probably one of my favorite fire steels. For some reason, I really like this. I feel like I can give good sparks with it, and I really like that fire steel. Next, and I don't like necessarily buying pre-made kits. I like to put stuff together myself. But when I seen this, it's actually, if you look through the equipment, it actually is really perfect for a day pack. Because with my day pack that I have put together, it's one of those things where you plan on going out and doing a day of bushcraft or whatever, just hanging out, and you don't want to, you don't plan on having to stay overnight. But with my day pack, if for some reason the situation arises and you had to stay overnight with this pack, you could fairly comfortably stay the night. And so, with what is in this? Well, it's the survivor medic pack from SOL, and it combines pieces of equipment that really go good in the day pack. For example, the survival equipment, it's got things like fire starters. It's got a rescue whistle in it, some duct tape. It's got a button compass, but I never trust button compasses because they generally don't work. It also has an emergency blanket, and that's where if you had to pull an overnighter, you would be able to rig that up. If the weather was bad, you would be able to rig that up over your head. But I also think if you're going to go out and there's a chance of rain, you should bring a tarp anyways. And at that point, I'd probably bring my entire kit with me just because I would, and you'd be able to. If it's gonna rain, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. If it's gonna rain, you should bring a tarp, and if you don't, that's just dumb on your part. So you deserve to get wet. The other portion of this kit, because it's split into with the survival equipment and the medical equipment, there's things in here like ibuprofen, antibiotic ointment, and then just some bandages. And that's really enough if you're only pulling just if you're only going out for the day. You really shouldn't need to stop some traumatic bleeding. You shouldn't have accidentally cut your arm off and need to friggin' stop the bleeding so you don't bleed out. So this really does do enough for you that it's worth carrying. Next thing I carry, this is just some fire stuff, and this is actually thrown in here, and I don't know why. I meant to spread it all around, but I just threw it in here, and this is where it stayed. It's just a pack of Coleman waterproof matches, and these waterproof matches they're short, so they can be hard to use, but they're actually pretty decent matches. I've had another pack of these before that I've gone completely through, and actually there's a box, the remaining amount of those in here, because I don't use matches a lot, but I do like to use these just because they're compact and I can keep them in my day kit fairly simply. I got a candle wrapped in a plastic bag just because plastic baggies are good. And so it's a candle. Candles are, obvious. I've got a Lansky sharpener, and this I actually use quite often. It's pretty good. It's got a couple different ways to sharpen, including a diamond rod. So it's just a small, good thing to carry in a day kit. If I wanted to combine the mylar blanket with something else to make a shelter, I also have a just simple little poncho in here. I have a piece of gauze in here just in case band-aids don't quite get her done for you. Then I've got just some jute twine that I was messing with and decided that, hey, it's jute twine, that's a good fire starter. Got this simple little container. What I use this for mostly is it's a waterproof container for matches, but you also have a little mirror in here that you could use for signaling, or if you cut your face on a branch or whatever, you can actually use it to see yourself, see the injury. Plus, I don't know if people have ever noticed these. I've always wondered what they were. Tiny little black rods that go down that are attached to these waterproof containers are actually ferro rods, and they're freaking impossible to use. I don't even know why they put them on here because I haven't tried to start a fire with it, but I mean, look at where it's placed. You have to try to get sparks all the way off. It's just hard. That's terrible placement for ferro rods, but it's on there for some reason. I needed it. Piece of tin foil, pretty big sheet of it. Tin foil is useful. Got my backup knife here, and this is a really cheap knife, but it's just my backup. It was actually what I kept in here before I got my Mora, and then I got my Mora, and I really just haven't taken this out because I use it for backup now. I never remember what it's called. It's just simple little knife wrapped in paracord that goes in the sheath, and with it is a ferro rod, small little ferro rod. So it was cheap. It was actually it's not. I've sharpened it up. Crap. I've sharpened it up a little bit since I got it, so it's actually got a pretty good edge on it now. But when I first got it, it was really not in good shape. What I just happened to drop there, outside of a cotton bandana that actually wraps this, the giant Altoids tin. I have no idea how I managed to find this thing. I didn't find it. I got it for Christmas one year, 2 years ago actually, and I use it for just another little fire kit. I don't keep a lot in here. I could keep a lot more if I wanted to. I just really haven't taken the time to really mess with it that much. And in it is just a couple mini Bic lighters, a lamp wick that's charred on the end, ferro rod. I actually really like this ferro rod because it's Super Mario duct tape. Yeah, bud, swag. Just kidding. Just a paper towel to separate it. Separate this and these little fire starter cubes that actually are one of my favorite fire starters. They're nothing special. They're not like they're not waterproof. They're not gonna burn in a hurricane, but They're cheap. Yeah, they come in just huge amounts, and they get the job done. I really don't know what they are. They're like cardboard. I don't even know what they are, but they're just a really good fire starter, and they fit perfectly in this thing. They burn well. Definitely good to carry in this little bitty fire kit I have here. That's pretty much. Let me look. Yeah, that's my whole day kit outside of the. Oh, you know what? That's about my day kit. I almost forgot. If you notice, I don't have any containers. Well, what do I know about containers? I'm about to show you. By the way, this just wraps around the gigantic Altoids tin so it doesn't clank around the whole time. I made a video showing this, but I never posted it, so I actually might as well go through it. This is, because I don't have any containers, what I use to carry my containers. Inside of it, inside the main compartment, I've got Stanley water bottle that you can see is pretty well used. And this water bottle, I didn't know how well it was going to hold up at first, because if you notice, the top part's plastic, but it unscrews off, so you have a cup and something to, and a metal container to boil water and cook it, whatever, because it's pretty wide mouth, so you could cook it this. So it's actually a really good container. It's a really good water bottle. It's held up good for me so far. I'm really liking it. And the other thing I have in here is just a stainless steel cup. It's been used too, as you can tell. Pretty good little combo, obviously. Because of how this water bottle is shaped, you see it like rounds out, so it doesn't stay the same diameter. So when you go down, it clatters around. So that's one of the main reasons I got this pouch, is because when you've got your cup in there, just give me a second, you never want to go back in or out. That's why. And you've got your cup in there, you can stick your water bottle in it, holds it steady, doesn't clatter around, doesn't make any racket. So that's good. And it just keeps everything together. So that's always a bonus. Containers are where it's at, I'm telling you. In the front little compartment here, I don't have a lot. I just have some these energy drink mixes, and just a quick fun fact about those: if you try to mix them in with a gallon of water and drink it, you will not feel good for the next couple of days. A little strip of 3 Esbit cubes, little packet with some sugar, some tea, stuff like that. In one of my earlier videos that I shot a little while ago, you saw me use some wire to hold up my cup over fire, so I didn't have to like puncture holes in it or everything. And all that is this. I've showed it to you before. I keep it in this black little pouch so that it doesn't scratch up stuff in there, and that just goes in here. Last 2 things I have, last 3 things I have, because I didn't realize I had a little pack of sugar in there. Another ferro rod, and a Cabela's mini multi-tool. I actually really like this. I don't use it that often. The main reason it's in here, I guess it gives you tiny pliers and some cutting options, but there's a flathead screwdriver in here right there, and that works perfectly as a striker for the ferro rod, so I keep that in here. And that, my friends, is my day kit. That's everything. That's what I carry with me when I just go out for a day, not expecting to have to pull an overnighter, but if I do, I can do it comfortably. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll try to get more videos out soon.